Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to look through this little notebook. This is a notebook that I got at the Dollar Tree, so it was very inexpensive. The cover is just cardstock. The pages are pretty thin, almost like copier paper pages. And I started out using this little notebook as an actual notebook, writing in my little notes of what I wanted to do on any particular day, making lists, making plans, and that type of thing. And eventually some of the pages started looking pretty sketchy and ugly, and I didn't like it, so I started collaging over them. So I just finished collaging the very last page in this notebook, and let's do a little flip through. Most of my collage elements come from junk mail, catalogs, and a few things come from magazines. I have kept a huge box of little elements, and periodically I take a bunch of the little things that I've cut out or torn out and I fill this box so I have a smaller amount to flip through when looking for things to put in. Anyway, here are the first two. These are not at all by any means the order that I made them. I would flip through and see where there was a page that I wanted to cover and just cover it. And I also only put the dates on a few of them. Anyhow, a lot of these elements came from a Title IX catalog, including Leaders Are Most Rebellious. I don't recall where these flowers came from though, nor that, but I'm pretty sure all the rest of this is from a Title IX catalog, including the stars. Homebodies and Please Be Nice. These kind of give a good idea of who I am as a person. I'm a homebody. I really wish people would be nice to each other. You know, I like the cozy vibe of being at home with a mug of coffee or tea in your hands while you're reading or crafting. I love bicycling and I aspire to bike more. I aspire to eventually be car-free and riding a bike. So this one was all about sort of the zen of bicycling and just life in general and nature. Happiness. I think that we all probably want to be a little bit happier than we are, including those of us like myself that generally are pretty happy. I'm pretty happy and satisfied in my life, but that doesn't mean I couldn't be happier. Coffee, strawberries, patterns, just some things that made me feel happy. Play and create. At the time that I made these two, was talking a lot with my friend Jocelyn about what it means to be creative and how you can be playful in your creativity. But this also takes into account my love of travel, plants. I would love to have an old school VW bus someday, some art supplies. I just thought some of these images were pretty and went well together. This, it is easy to be kind. I think I made this at a period where I felt like there were a lot of examples on social media of people not being kind, and I wasn't really okay with it. I also wanted to celebrate the city I live in, which is Portland, Oregon, and the fact that it rains here a lot, but we do get a lot of sun, and I happen to love living here. Shout out loud, I'm going back to bed. I thought this was centered around this image. This woman is sitting in this tree. She just looks so playful and so fun, which then I thought went well with this shout out loud. But at the same time, most of us are contradictory human beings, and even though I want to shout out loud and be playful, I also want to go back to bed a lot. Another one celebrating Portland, and I just did these little houses to sort of emulate different neighborhoods of Portland. This one is just about being out in nature, but also being a strong or badass, unstoppable woman. The French word for ready. Ruth Bader Ginsburg had died while I was working on this journal. This is one of the few in the notebook where I have not only a lot of collage elements, but I also did a bunch of stamping with the butterflies and some lace-like stamping. And I printed this on a little Kodak mini printer, which I will have linked in the description. If I can find the stamps, I will also link those as well. We were coming up on an election, or maybe we'd have had the election. I would have to go back and look at dates. But you know, there was a big push among my friends and other people I know to vote and to get others registered to vote. Keeping it all together, I also was struggling a little bit. I was just feeling kind of down and just not really engaged. So this is just a reminder to myself to keep it together, to be a strong, adventurous woman. And side note, this little image right here, I think she looks so much like my friend Carrie. So much. A little bear, a little bird. These two were just about being playful and enjoying that we're part of this natural world. Sink or swim. Something that we all have to do in life. We choose to sink or swim. We choose to make the best of our situations or not. These two, I just really like these quote images, so I built the collages around them. Acceptance, let go of what you think should happen and live in what is happening. Beauty, she wins who calls herself beautiful and challenges the world to change to truly see her, by Naomi Wolf. I just thought the idea of this woman or girl sitting on this floaty in some water in an ice cream dish. I don't know why I thought that was so funny, but I just pulled the images out of my little box and immediately put them together. I didn't even really think a whole lot about it. This one was sort of about celebrating some of the things that I really enjoy. I love books. I love travel. I love going to coffee and eating with friends, but I also love going to fancy things and theater. I love flowers. I really like how bold and vibrant this one is. Oop, I skipped a couple. This one is actually centered on this little phrase and this image. To know us is to love us. I'm in a small online group with a few other women, and so I built this around the idea of my friendship with that group of women. Meeting friends. I love meeting old friends. I love making new friends. I am a shy introvert, so a lot of people think that making friends is hard, and sometimes it can be, particularly because of my shyness. But once you get to know me, you won't believe I'm shy or introverted, because I think an introvert's superpower is once we get to know you, once we're comfortable around you, if we feel like you're adding to our energy rather than taking from it, our introversion kind of fades into the background until we're ready to go home and recharge. Same with shyness. Once I'm comfortable around you, the shyness goes away. Yay you. I don't remember why I put this on here, but this one I really like the teapot, the cup, or the teacup. I love these patterns. Another quote. Manifesting the happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. I really do believe that this is true. I'm not going to say that I don't ever succumb to negative thoughts. I already mentioned that I had a period where things just weren't going very well. But overall, I do think that the quality of your thoughts lends a lot to how you are doing in life. And that can be added to by having things that you love. Like I love coffee, but also by having things that you know are good for you, like fresh fruit and vegetables. I happen to love vegetables. I'm not as big of a fruit eater, but I do like some. So it was 2020 when I was making this one, celebrating 100 years of women voting in the United States. Let's see. Okay, so I stuck those two pages together. So I did some journaling on these two pages, leaving things behind, departing, and arriving to better things. I covered up a lot of journaling. The creative adult is the child who survived. I love and hate this quote. I love that I'm a creative adult. I hate the idea that I had to survive something to become creative. I think I had a pretty good childhood, but I also was a highly, highly sensitive child, and I'm a highly, highly sensitive adult. And I was misunderstood a lot. And like any family, we had our issues. Overall, I thought I had a good childhood, but I was a creative child. I'm a creative adult. I don't know. Make of that what you will. I thought that this little bunny really went with this quote, though. I really like this spread. This one I did purposely as a 2-page spread. You can see some shared elements. I think the squirrel drinking from the coffee is hilarious. I grew up with squirrels in my backyard, some of which were so comfortable around us that we could feed them by hand. We could feed them nuts by hand. I wrote this little quote in primarily around the phone. Excuse me, I'm on the phone with my creativity. The excuse me, every time I come to this page and see excuse me, it reminds me of the writer Elizabeth Gilbert and her TED Talk on creativity, which I will link in the description. I love that TED Talk, but just the way she says a few things, including things like excuse me, it just gives me a little chuckle whenever I come to this page. This one, my everyday, my day job, various chores have to. Art is such a huge part of my life, the best and the most important part, at least at a soul level. I'm not sure if this portion does really exist. I like this Venn diagram idea. Art is a huge part of my life. I could not separate art from my life. Creativity is a huge part of my life. I would be lost without it. 2021, so good to see you. Even if we stay home for 2021, we'll make the most of it and we'll find ways to rise. I made this one on Tuesday, January 19th, 2021. So we're staying home, but we're rising anyway. Action without distraction. That's a reminder to myself that I do get distracted a lot. I procrastinate a lot. But if I set a timer for like 10 minutes and focus in on a task for 10 minutes, whether it's work or cleaning, paying my bills, whatever, that 10-minute period usually leads to a domino effect where I'm able to go on to the next task without distraction. Choice, we've still got it. This was about a number of things, including Roe v. Wade, voting rights, as well as just the choice to determine the direction of our lives. It's only after we've lost everything that we're free to do anything. This is a really hard idea to sit with because losing everything, how does that make you free? You've lost everything. But at the same time, it gives you the freedom to rebuild. And I've had to do this a couple of times in my life, and my life has only gotten better every single time, even though it's been really excruciatingly difficult to rebuild each time. You are in demand. I just really like this quote. You're in demand as a friend. You're in demand because of your love. You're in demand because of the creative, beautiful, unique, even non-creative, the scientific and linear, the abstract and wild. You are in demand for what makes you unique in this world. I will be wild, difficult to find, and impossible to forget. Aaron Van Vuren. I love this quote. I feel like I try to live up to this. I hope I'm doing it in a positive way. I also love this little image. I like the girl meditating and this additional image behind her with the meditation, the flowers. Just be you. I mean, what is that quote? Just be you, everyone else is taken. I do believe that's true. You can't be anybody but yourself. A lot of people aren't going to like you, but a lot of people really will. Love what you love. Don't apologize for loving the things that you love. I love a lot of really nerdy, weird stuff. I love being smart. I love being super serious. I love joking around with my friends. I love science. I love creativity. I love just so many things, and I won't apologize for it. This is built around this brain. My mom passed away in February of 2021. My uncle had passed away a couple of years before, both from brain-related conditions. For my mom, it was dementia. For my uncle, it was a brain tumor. I love and miss them both so much, and I'm not going to talk about them further, though, because I'll start crying. This page, more about love. On this, I was really missing travel. Where to next? I love to travel. I love exploring new places. I love meeting new people. When I travel, a lot of my introversion goes away. A lot of my worry and a high sensitivity goes away because I leave all my responsibilities at home. This one was about friendship. Here comes the sun. Maintain the rage. This was related to Roe v. Wade and the Supreme Court ruling in the United States. Abroad. This one was just celebrating womanhood. And these are the last two that I just finished today. So this one started with the idea of the coffee cup, and I wanted something inside of it, and I thought that this little image, it is a cloud and a moon, and I put the star. Oh, where did the star go? Oh, you know what? I put the star on a different collage that's not in this book. Her daring soul hath led her. And then this little image of Frida Kahlo, some really bright and bold colors, some florals. I dream of stars that glitter. And then I purposely saved this tiny little piece just for the end of this book, made by one crafty bitch. And that is it. I would love to know which collage you like the most and what you think I should work on next. And what do you think about turning some of these into greeting cards or stickers or other products? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching.